The hour. Great to have the Zimmermans in studio. When were you guys in last? Was it just before the holidays last year? We got Anna and Jordan, and they got Jason along with them.
I think we were back in June.
Was it in June?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were both in here last year.
Okay, very good. So again, very exciting. Geome, the new business in Wilson Lofts.
Yes.
Anna, we had you in not too long ago with the folks from Wilson Lofts. How's it been going so far?
It's going great. We've been scrambling day and night trying to get things ready for the grand opening tomorrow.
So the ribbon cutting is this afternoon.
Yes.
So that's going to be exciting. Got the
Yeah.
ambassadors in and
Yeah.
get some folks in. Now, are you going to be ready for that ribbon cutting?
We will be mostly ready for that ribbon cutting. The
Yes.
place will look good. The place will look good.
We will be ready.
I
I'm
still
saying.
will be working. We'll be ready.
Yes.
I'll still be working tonight
Right.
into tomorrow to
'Cause-
have everything perfect the way I want it.
And the grand opening, of course, is tomorrow. What time are you going to open the doors for that?
10 a.m. to
Okay.
5 p.m. are our hours tomorrow.
Okay. Again, Wilson Lofts, you're in the 200 block of Fifth Avenue South. So how did this come about for you folks to be a part of the Wilson Lofts? Tell us that story.
So we moved here December of 2020, and I already had the business. So we were kind of looking for places for quite a while. I got pregnant with him, so it was like, okay, let's put a pause on actually like getting a store space. And then we kind of realized like there's never like the perfect time to open a store.
And there's tons of, potential.
Yeah, Clinton's full of
Downtown is
awesome
Clinton, yeah.
potential. So when we saw the incubator spaces kind of open up, we were interested. Jordan checked them out, and we really liked the idea of, hopefully others will come in there, but a big collaboration of different businesses in one space.
At the time, we weren't sure if we were going to be able to make it work with having James, because we were thinking maybe we would have longer hours and we'd have him in the store, but
We did that pop-up shop, or that
Yes.
pop-up in June, and it was a good test run to kind of get a feel for what it would be like to have a kid in store. And then also, like, I'd say 90% of the business was 11 to 2, so that kind of helped us, like, okay, that might be when a majority of our hours are, and it kind of helped give us a test run for.
yeah.
Again, visiting with the Zimmermans. Geome, how did you come up with that name?
I told you, he's the brains of the operation.
So Jordan, how'd you come up with that name?
Sure. So it was kind of a concept of a name. Kind of put together a couple of different words that I thought represented what Anna's style was for jewelry. So it's like the combination of like a geode, which is like the easiest one, the most obvious one, but then also like biome, which is like a fancy word for like kind of like an ecosystem. So I kind of mashed those words together to create like this
Geology,
kind of,
geometry.
yeah, and there's some other words that kind of factor into
kind
that
of
too.
my style and my interests, and he kind of built the brand around that and came up with Geome as the name.
It's
Before I was going under my maiden name, just Anna Weiss Jewelry, and he's like, well, you're not a Weiss anymore, so I got to build your brand, and he does brand design and things like that. So
it has its challenges. Phonically, it's hard to pronounce sometimes.
Well, we had somebody in the other day, and they called it Geome. So
Geome, yeah.
Exactly, right.
I would imagine you get a lot of that.
Yes,
Geome.
yep.
It has some challenges,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
overall.
Well, I have a lot of folks call me Dieterman, and it's so you get used to it.
Uh-huh.
So tell us about what you all have to offer.
Yes. So I hand make all the jewelry, and that's anything from really traditional style like wedding rings to really fashion-forward designer alternative jewelry. We're gonna have plants, and we're gonna have select home goods, and a few other handmade things that I make, like things for plants and leather working and things like that, I think, right?
So now, do you make these at your home, or are you going to be able to make them in the shop as well?
I have a full studio at home, and so just the shop will be just the retail side of it.
Okay.
I think I will be doing things like I make wreaths, so like things like wreath decorating and maybe some of the leather work and maybe some of that can be done in the shop, but all the metalsmithing with the fire and all the big equipment is done at
Right.
Smelting.
yeah. All the big jewelry stuff is done at home.
That reminds me of the Saturday Night Live sketch with Paul Simon. He was going to give out the gifts, and she had all these great gifts for him. I just smelted these together for you.
Yeah.
So, do you have an inspiration? Was there's somebody that you kind of draw off of?
I think just nature in general, like God's creation, is something that really inspires me. But then also, like, my style brings in like geometry and things like that. So I really like the design aspect of making jewelry, not so much the art and the feeling base, but more of like design principles and things like that are kind of how I build and make.
I'd say your
jewelry.
background too, like when we were back in Des Moines, you worked for an artisan jeweler in that area that was pretty well known, helped her kind of find her aesthetic or style, and not just like the artisan side of things, but she had a job at like a formal jewelry store, so she learned not just like the design side of things, but also like the
Technical.
fine jeweler type craft as well.
Talk about the technique, what you need to do. I mean, do you draw it and then put it together, or is it in your mind, or what?
All of the above.
Okay.
I kind of like, when I like do sketches, I do like 100 iterations, because like when I'm drawing, I kind of it's like the process of thinking through and problem solving. And since I have to build it, the design will change based on how I want the piece to function, or just in general how to build it. 'Cause it's all by hand and soldering. And so I think it's kind of like that you got to kind of, or if something bad happens and you melt something, you have to like pivot and problem solve and learn how to create new solutions. So it's kind of like a balance of I have a plan, and then like, okay, this looks a little differently when I actually put it into physical form. And
So you're getting ready to open, grand opening again
Yes.
tomorrow. What are the hours going to be tomorrow?
10 to 5.
Okay, and have you decided on hours and days yet?
Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 2 is our base hours. Follow the Facebook group, Geome and Phyla Store, because we will be posting additional hours, maybe some evening hours for folks who want to stop in after work. But the base will be Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 2.
Also by appointment.
And also by appointment, we will be opening too.
All right, well, great to have you both
Yes.
in the studio, and congratulations
Thank you very much.
again. If people would like to find out more information, again,
Yes.
the best way of doing that.
Facebook group, Geome, Geome, plus, like the plus sign, and then ph.yla store. Phyla.
All right, very good. Hey, thank you both for coming in. Ribbon cutting this afternoon at
Yes.
4:30.
Yes.
Grand opening tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Very good, yes.
Right there in the 200 block of 5th Avenue South. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The good times are happening at Kingpin Saloon and Dance Hall of Fulton. Stop in for lunch every day from 11 until 8. Daily specials Monday through Friday, and homemade soups. Plus a menu that has appetizers, sandwich baskets, and the best burgers. There's the Queen of Hearts drawing every Wednesday night at 6:30. Gaming, pool, darts, weekend entertainment, and a banquet hall for parties and special events. Get in on